My P&L just reset, dude. My P&L just reset, but this is how I made $2,300. Oh man, I literally just I'll probably just put up a picture because I literally just showed my P&L. But here's this. Here's this. Um, it just reset because it's end of day. That's why. But yeah, this is how I made $2,300. You see, this was boom, freaking funded account, right? And then 2001. I actually made 2,100 or so. I don't know why it says that, but yeah. There's those two accounts right there, and then I'll put up a picture of the Pretty sure I had another like of the group P&L because I also made 4,000 on the other account. But yeah, I'm gonna delete these annotations so I can kind of go through them with y'all so y'all can understand my thought process, right? But basically, I'm just gonna go in this video like how to avoid break evens, how to like spot high confluence setups and things like that, right? Because this was a great A+ setup, and I think there's something to learn from this, right? So again, I'm gonna be tracking these three accounts that I'm trading right now because I have 16 accounts, so and I trade them all a little bit differently. So I'm just gonna be focusing on these. Um, we're on a nice little win streak right here, but the losses will come. So we'll see. Hi, we're gonna open from close to open right here. This is that new week opening gap right here that we're working inside of. So I just had this graded right here, right? New week opening gap right there. And let's just replay this so we can see what we got going on. All right. Boom. So boom. Price pumps up. Oh shoot. Price pumps up, and we literally leave these relative equal lows right here, right? And whenever there's relative equal lows or highs, that doesn't mean we absolutely have to see them. You can see in a lot of cases, like we left relative equal highs up here, right? We left relative equal lows down here. We left relative equal highs right here before coming up and sweeping them, right? We don't that is, just because we have relative equal lows or highs doesn't mean you instantly look for price to reverse, right? In this case, we were already in a downtrend, and then we absolutely edged these relative equal lows. ES did as well. I'm sorry, like we literally edged it by a tick. Like we didn't take it, so this automatically gave me my bearish bias. Even though a lot of people might be scared from like this pump up, I knew that we'd probably like this would just be a Judas swing. You see these accumulation lows right here, so I was just being really patient in what I was looking for. So you see, we pumped up, right? And it's gonna get a little bit messy here, just so you know what these annotations. But just remember, we're inside this new week opening gap, so we're tapping the upper quadrant of the new week opening gap while we mitigate this 1 hour bearish fair value gap right here. And this is how you stack confluences. I'll just delete this, but just remember that we are in this new week opening gap. Oh, no, I'll keep it. Tapping the new week opening gap, upper quadrant, right? We're tapping CE of this bearish 1 hour fair value gap. Okay, this is when I want to start paying attention. What kind of like bearish confluences are we getting, right? So boom, and you can see how we perfectly like respect these quadrants right here. I'll go ahead and delete the new week opening gap. You know we're in the new week opening gap, right? And then boom, we come up to CE. Look how we perfectly tap. This is a 5 minute chart, and then we put in the SMT. SMTs are the highest probable whenever they're sweeping liquidity inside of a higher time frame period. That's the most high confluence setup you can get. Most you want to see it in like 1 hour and above, but you can do 15 minute whatever if you're like really confident in your trade, right? So now that we got this, this is when I want to start paying attention, and this is when I kind of start looking at my order flow. What are we doing? Um, in context with this, right? So again, I'm not going to get too deep into this, but this is the some zones that I just pay attention to, right? And we basically just break and retest. We broke it already. We came and retested it, and then we inversed this 5 minute out of it. So this one I was like, okay, nice. This is like a literally A+ setup that I would want to see. This is like the same trade like that I follow day in and day out, right? So boom, we did that. Inverse this, which was a bullish fair value gap. We made it an inverse fair value gap right here. Oh my god, like a bot right now. Sorry. So we tapped this 1 hour, respected CE, put an SMT, and then we inverse this 5 minute right here. Do I enter yet? Me personally, even I could have entered once we came, mitigated this inverse, and then delivered out of it. But the reason I didn't want to do that is because we were mitigating this huge bullish Peter Ray. And what do I mean by that? So we can very easily like come right back up, sweep these highs, have another leg up, sweep this high where my stop loss would be, and then go another leg lower. Correct? So what I would basically want to see is just confirmation that we're just gonna run through this bullish Peter Ray. And what would give me that confirmation? This right here. In this case, this is what I wanted to see. This was my condition. Um, top right. This is this is a change of state delivery. Basically, a change of state delivery is just a series of up close or down close candles that swept liquidity, right? So this is a 5 minute CISD, which are very very powerful. Anything above like a 1 minute CISD are very very like powerful in my opinion. So we start delivering deep. I'm staying patient. I'm like, if it's gonna leave me, it's gonna leave me. I'm waiting for a retracement. Once we get that retracement up to this 5 minute CISD, after we get this candle flip right here, this is when I enter. Right, we tapped it, and then price came up again, and then we flipped. That's whenever I entered. My stop loss above there, 41 point stop, and then I was targeting these relative equal lows right here. I wasn't even targeting the whole thing. I was just targeting these relative equal lows right here. And so yeah, basically that gave me the confirmation that I needed to be like, hey, we're probably going to deliver lower. We also put in an internal SMT right here by sweeping this 5 minute high right here. Okay. And most people in this scenario, they would be going break even right here. In most scenarios, I would be going break even right here. So why didn't I go break even? And how was I able to avoid getting break even on this trade? Well, so this is a really, really high confluence setup. Like this is an A plus setup in my opinion. Like A plus, A plus, A plus, right? So I'm gonna show you exactly why I didn't go break even here. Boom. We come down, right? Nice 5 minute delivery done, and then we don't take that low. We come straight back up, right? And I'm in drawdown here. We come straight back up, and then we have this huge candle wick down. So why did I not go break even after I saw this candle, right? Reason I didn't go break even here is because the whole time we're going down, we're creating low resistance liquidity, which is basically just like trend line liquidity, meaning this liquidity is not going to be high resistance and it's going to be really easily swept. Okay. So knowing that, I'm like, hey, if I go break even here, most likely what's going to happen is we're going to shoot up again. We're going to target, we're going to mitigate either this 5 minute BPR or we're going to mitigate this 1 hour fair value gap that we know is right here, right? And then we'll probably continue lower. So what I ended up doing was holding my stop, even though we did put in another internal SMT right here. I was still confident holding my stop because I wanted to give my trade a little bit of wiggle room to like work within, right? Because in my opinion, after giving all these bearish confluences, there's no reason to have another leg up past this high. This is the protected high in my eyes, right? There's no reason to have another leg up before continuing down to these lows. So I'm comfortable with holding my stop and giving it a little bit of room, and that's what people got to understand. Like people will always want to go break even like instantly, but there's some cases where it just doesn't call for that. Another thing that I was looking at was the footprint. This was like right when the CISD happened right here on my entry. And the CISD happened right here, and then we put in the SMT. You can see how much all these stacked imbalances right here. Stacked imbalances is basically just like so like buyers getting absorbed, right? This is the best spot. Like this is the best way to spot absorption whenever there's a lot of like contracts being dealt at the top of the wick, right? This is the best way to tell like, oh, there's kind of like some absorption going on, right? And you can see at the top there was some absorption right there, some absorption right here in this candle, boom, right? So that was an amazing entry right there, and I'm still holding my stop, still holding my stop. You can see we come back up. I'm sitting in a little bit of drawdown. We end up mitigating this 5 minute BPR, and then look exactly what we do. Delivered down, and this is when I'm at break even. After we inverse this 5 minute here, boom. After we inverse that, I feel like I'm comfortably sitting at break even. Oh yeah, and here's the executions right here. Here's the executions because I they reset because the trading day ended, so I don't have the execution no more. But luckily, I did take a screenshot of the executions. But yeah, this is when I'm sitting at break even, and I'm just looking to see who takes these equal lows first. Right? I'm still at break even. We're coming up. I'm like, nice, nice, nice. And then we're edging, and that's when I close my position right there. Boom, you can see the executions. Perfect entry, perfect exit right there, right? And the reason I close my position is because ES is sweeping these lows, and we have all this low resistance liquidity. So usually, whenever we have an SMT and then we have opposing low resistance liquidity, that's literally like it's kind of like just the perfect reversal, right? So it doesn't mean it's going to happen every time. Just because we have SMT and we have low resistance liquidity doesn't mean we're going to shoot up in the opposite direction, right? But it's the highest probable that we're going to reverse from right here, right? And also it's pre-market, and I just want to take my piece of the pie. So boom, I ended up closing right when we took those lows. I got the perfect exit right there. Um, and yeah, we ended up absolutely shooting back up, right? So you can see if I would have held to like these lows or these lows without paying attention to what the other indices are doing, I would have ended up break even and not making any money today, right? So um, yeah, that's the trade that I took today. The reason I took it and like my thought process behind it. Again, some key takeaways from this is like, bro, just make sure you're paying attention to the higher time frames. don't always try to go break even instantly. Like obviously when you can do it, and if the situation calls for it, but not every situation do you want to be break even. Like if it's an A plus setup and you need to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, you can see we had like most people probably saw this V shaped recovery and thought we are gonna go back up, right? But that's why you got to be paying attention to the higher time frames and just seeing what we're doing on here, right? Um, but yeah, and again, these are the three 150Ks I'm gonna be showing all the trades on because I don't know if I already said this, but I have like 16 accounts, so um I'm gonna be paying attention to I'm just gonna be showing all the trades on this account, right? We're on a nice little win streak right now. Losses will come, y'all. I'm gonna be showing very transparent. Y'all gonna see everything, every single trade. But I did take this trade, the same trade, in a top tick right here. I can show y'all the execution. Boom, took that top tick on three other accounts, and I ended up making $3,000 on those accounts. But I'm just gonna be paying attention to the P&L for these accounts right here. So yeah, because it's too many accounts, I take different trades on them and stuff. And this is the low risk to reward that I kind of wanted to be uh I guess like showing, right? But yeah, that was a trade that we took, bro. And then we ended up pumping. Thank God I like didn't trade this dude, like because New York AIM has just been so bad. You can see we literally just opened, pumped, and then we just kind of like lethargically came back down. There was really no moves to be like caught, in my opinion. I don't think I would have caught anything today. Maybe like there was a nice continuation trade, I think, after we retest this 5 minute. But overall, like yeah, this was like the only continuation we could have got right here. Like we came into this 5 minute, and then I think we had a 1 minute CISD. That would have been a nice one, but it was a little bit risky, bro. Nah, we were kind of deep into the we're kind of deep into the freaking session. But another thing to note, bro, whenever you're in conditions like this, bro, you want to wait for oh my god, I'll show y'all one more thing before I go. Whenever you're in conditions like these, you want to make sure you're looking at both indices, bro. And this is why it's so important. And I bet people got stopped out on this today. You can see we came into this 5 minute, right? Delivering from it. Boom. And then we after inversing this 1 hour as well. Remember, we had this bearish fair value gap. We inversed it. You can see this 1 hour close right here. So we inversed it. Boom. We're tapping this 5 minute inside of this 1 hour. And then we had a this inversion fair value gap right here, right? On the 1 minute. So basically, whenever you're in conditions like this, when we're really volatile, you want to make sure you're paying attention to both indices, bro. Because while NQ, yes, inverse this, and you could have entered here, stop below this low, you would have got absolutely like rammed, like boom, you would have got rammed, and then price would have played off without you. And if you look at ES, you can see ES did not inverse this, right? ES did not inverse this yet, and in some conditions, like that's why I say trading is so subjective. Because in some conditions, I would take this trade. I'll be like, okay, NQ like inverse this gap, I'm gonna go ahead and jump the gun, right? That's why trading is so hard because it's very subjective. Like it just takes a lot of time to where you could like understand like when and where to do certain things. But yeah, you definitely should have waited for today in these conditions just for both indices to show you some strength, right? But yeah, that was the one trade that I think would have been like decent, but and yeah, that's it. Let me just go ahead and end this because this video is kind of long. That was a trade recap, bro. Again, losses will come. I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all. I'm gonna show y'all every single trade I take on these accounts, P&L, all that good stuff, and we'll just go from there. I hope y'all learned something from this video, bro. Like, I think this is a pretty informative video, just how to avoid break evens, making sure you're grading your P to raise, higher time for paying attention to the higher time frames, right? And yeah, things like that. But yeah, y'all have a good day, bro. I'll see you on the next one, and yeah, see y'all.